it's April, and today I want to give you some recommendations for 3 trilogies that I have on my bookshelf right now because I love them. I love them so much. Now this is part of the monthly recommendation group that was started by Kayla and Trina. So I will link all the information down below in case you decide that you want to join and give out monthly recommendations. I highly recommend it, and let's do this. I have found that I really haven't read that many trilogies, or at least completed that many trilogies, and the ones that I have completed, I have all completed this year, which is weird. Now, the first trilogy I want to talk about is the Curse Worker trilogy by Howey Black. This is a series about a boy named Castle who lives in a world where certain people have powers that are transferred by touch. So they can put curses on people through touch, and so in the society it is illegal to not have gloves. They don't want people to have personal contact with each other in case this curse thing happens. Now Castle is part of a mob family, and so most of his family has these kind of powers of persuasion and all kinds of different things. So Castle, who has never really experienced having powers himself, always feels like the odd man out. That isn't to say that he isn't very good at convincing people to do what he wants them to do. Like I said, he lives in a family of thieves. So this series takes off with Castle in school, and then how the mob life starts to pull him in, and family life, and it just becomes a great big mess. The first book is White Cat, and then you have Red Glove, and then Black Heart. What I like most about what Howey Black has done with this series is just how she's incorporated this kind of magic system. How it's genetic based and how it can throw politics completely for a loop. Howey Black is great at developing worlds that feel full featured, and this is no exception. So I highly recommend it if you would like a book with a very interesting magic system. And of course, mobs. If you like reading about mobs, pick up this book. Do it. Do it now. The second series that I would like to talk about is the Gemma Doyle series by Libba Bray. Yeah, you see them? Yeah, all 3 of these books. It's interesting trying to hold all of these up right now. This series is based around Gemma Doyle, who is a teenage girl who finds herself at a England boarding school after a series of events that involves her mother, and things just go downhill for the family. While she's at this boarding school, she starts to discover magic in this completely different realm that is very fae-like. She begins to make friends, and she starts to learn about the past of this boarding school and things that may have gone on around this organization called the Order. And all 3 books just follow the journey of Gemma and her set of friends and figuring out where their place is at in the world and in this magic world as well. It is a very atmospheric read, and it is one of those great historical urban fantasy kind of stories. Now the first book is Great and Terrible Beauty, and then you have Rebel Angels, and then the Sweetbar thing. I don't have a cover for this one. Maybe someday I will, but right now I don't. If you want a trilogy that is set in the past but still has that magical element and has a very vast array of characters, I highly recommend this series. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess what this last series is going to be, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't mention this trilogy, the Silo series. Oh my gosh, these covers. I can't stop drooling over these covers. They are simply amazing and extremely heavy, in case you didn't know that. Now, the Silo series is a science fiction series set in the future in which the planet has had some very epic things happen to it. Humans are living underground in this silo-like structure. We are introduced to this concept of cleaning, which is how this underground society has regulated itself because once you go out for a cleaning, you never come back. This series, of course, consists of wool, shift, and dust. This all started out from a single short story, and the concept, people just loved what Howey was doing, and it became this epic trilogy. I have a full review over this series, so I will link it so you can figure out if you really, really want to read it. I recommend you do, especially since the first short story that started it all is actually free on Kindle and probably any other e-reader that you can find, so you can test the waters a little bit. But if you like very gritty sci-fi stories about human survival and what the inner workings of humans can do, I highly recommend this series. Those are the 3 trilogies that came to mind when this topic came up. So if any of these piques your interest, I say go, start, and then come back and tell me what you think. I heart your beautiful faces. Bye. You haven't seen a kitty for a while. Say hi to the kitty. She's got to take a breath.